You are always safe. You are always carried by this presence of love. There's no greater time than right now to completely release and let go of any old, outdated, stored programs that are limiting you and your thriving health and success. There's no better time than right now to completely let go of who you have been and truly arrive here in the present moment where you don't have to fear anything, because in the present moment, it's possible for us all to feel our heart. I get to feel my heart. And I don't need to try to be anything other than what I am. Myself. My supernatural self. That is why I'm here. And it's so important that we don't leave ourselves self-abandoned in order to go and look at all these things that the world is screaming for us to look at. The world is really good at stealing people's attention and energy. Because what we give our attention to, we give our energy to. So what is it that you're giving your energy to? And is it actually empowering you, or is it keeping you in a low vibrational state, in a frequency that is filled with fear? Remember, where we place our attention, we place our energy, and that is what creates our reality. How we are focusing and what we're paying with our attention for. We pay a lot of attention to a lot of things that are not giving us vital life force energy. So I invite you, if you don't feel like you are on the right track in your life and you want to get back on the right track, then start by having some boundaries, some energetic, but also physical even, boundaries with the things that are not supporting you to thrive. For example, it could be Facebook app or social media apps like Instagram. It could be YouTube even. It could be the news, following the politics and being in all these debates and things and feeling all this separation between yourself and life. And that is actually the most problematic. It's when we as humans believe we are separate from the whole, when we believe we aren't whole, when we believe we aren't safe. And it's because we're getting caught up in this material realm, identifying so much with this realm. So we're actually here to be more in the energetic, non-physical, the space that is beyond the body and the mind. We're here to actually start giving our energy and our attention to the space that is beyond the body and the mind, to the energetic field, the space that is all around us, the unknown, basically. That which we don't know, but that which is always here. It's that energy that sustains us, that holds us up. It is the presence of eternal love. This is what I'm going to choose to give my attention to, my energy to, for the rest of my life. And anytime I catch myself looking out at the world, seeing separate forms, feeling threatened, feeling not connected to others because I see a form and I identify this form as me, and then I see another form and I don't see that as myself. That in itself, that way of seeing, is a big error. And those types of things is actually what creates imbalances and disease. It's to think that other form is actually other. Because in the bigger scheme of things, in the broadened out scheme of things, there is actually no such thing as another. So that is a big part here to take a look at. How much are you seeing from a place of separation versus from oneness? And the only way to actually see from oneness is by meditating and being in that space of oneness. Not by just trying to think your way into oneness, but by actually meditating, sitting your ass down every day, morning and night, or just at least morning, to start your day in that energy, because that sets your day off right if you start your day in that energy. So to really actually live in the reality of where we see that it's all energy and it's all frequency, and it's actually the energy and the frequency that change and shapes and molds and completely manifests all things in the material realm. So it's really important. Like, the reason why we're seeing a lot of war and destruction and things in the material 3D realm is because a lot of humans have forgotten about our power, our innate power as human beings to choose, to have free will, to choose what we give our attention to in this 3D realm. A lot of us have, unfortunately, a lot of people have, unfortunately, including myself, have given our attention to the body, to the thoughts, to the world. We have let the world influence our thinking. Songs, movies, news, society, other people that are living in fear have been able to influence us, yet this is now in the past. We are letting this go. It's no longer relevant, because no more will we let the world and the news and the music and the social media posts influence our frequency, our energy. We have will, we have a will, and that will must be greater than our environment. We must be greater than this environment of the 3D realm and actually see beyond this 3D realm so that we can live in what's the most true. It's not about just like, health and well-being. Like, this is about truth. This is about actual truth. And if all human beings started living in this space that is so loving, so beautiful, and that only sees love in another form, that would transform and shift the whole world. We would all treat each other as the sacred, as the divine, because that's what we would see in the other. We would see from those eyes, because we've been sitting in it every day in meditation. That's how we would see things. And that would create collaborations and cooperation if we are truly in that energy and in that frequency. But it takes a truly shifting into that energy and that frequency, and a desire to be in the energy and the frequency of truth, of love, of peace, much more than we desire the short-lived quick pleasures of dopamine hits that come from looking at the news, being involved in drama, getting arguments. What it takes to be in this frequency and in this energy is acknowledging the addiction that we have to negative emotions, to emotions that keep us in low vibrational states, because those emotions produce arousal, produce chemicals. And a lot of people have practiced feeling those emotions for such a fucking long time that now they feel familiar with it and they want it because it's familiar and because they want the cocktail of chemicals. The body has become addicted to the chemicals of stress, of fear, of judgment, whatever it is. And so it's really important that we actually acknowledge and own that, yeah, man, I'm fucking addicted to that shit. And the first step is saying the truth. I might be a victim to those emotions. And from that place where I've allowed myself to be a victim to those emotions, and now from this place of seeing that, I'm gonna fucking make a change, because I am not a victim. I actually, God created it so that we have free will. So it's pretty awesome. And we're here to give our energy and our focus to the most true and eternal energy. And how to do that, you go to the unknown every day. You sit in meditation and you feel your eternal essence and truth. And you think thoughts and feelings that are in alignment with your source, with love, with peace, with who you really are, with that which is the energy that people that come back from near-death experiences speak all about. It's the eternal presence that is unconditional, pure love. That's where we are all going. That's where who and what we are. And the reason why there is such a thing as old age and decay and people just getting diseases and imbalances is because we are not connected to this truth. we are actually feeling separated from it. And if we feel separated from it, then our physical bodies are not going to reflect that life force. It's going to reflect something else. That's the beauty of the creation. It will show us where our thinking is off by giving us some form of physical illness or disease or aging really quickly or whatever it is. It will give us some sort of communication. If we are too much focusing on being in a reality where there's separation, where there's fear, where everything outside of us is a threat, because we're seeing separate individuals that want to harm us, like if we're living in these beliefs of that and in these survival programs versus thrival programs and thriving, if we're doing that, then it's going to reflect in the physical form. So it's very important that if we want radiant, thriving health, that we actually see the medication is meditation. Actually sitting in meditation, slowing the brain waves down and getting into the higher brain waves, such as alpha, and then eventually gamma or whatever it's called. I'm still learning about the brain waves, but to basically get to that place where we are in heart and brain coherence, where the heart and the brain are in harmony with each other, and where we're actually feeling our heart, feeling gratitude, feeling true, genuine appreciation, because then we're in our heart, and then when we're in our heart, that energy from the heart actually goes up into the brain, and that's how the brain then lights up, and instead of sending incoherent signals down into the physical body, the brain will start to send coherent, harmonious signals down into the physical body. And this is the way to heal any imbalance or illness or disease in your system. It's to do this. It's to actually change your whole life, to change what you give your energy and attention to, and start realizing that your thoughts are like a food, like a material food. Your beliefs, the beliefs that we're holding, are affecting matter. So to change matter, change the energy that we're holding, because energy is what creates matter. So if there's any energy inside of you of feeling fear or separation from others, or judgments towards yourself or other, or stories that are carrying an energy, I really think it's important. It is so important for you to look at that and to be honest, to become conscious of your unconscious thoughts that are actually what is creating your reality and what is either making you feel thriving health in your physical body or poor physical health. We are the ones that heal ourselves. Not a pill, not a doctor, not an operation. It's us and our shifting of our energy into the truth of who we are, which is our unlimited potential, unlimited being. And we need to align ourselves to that and live from that place. Let our physical form think the same thoughts, let the brain think the same thoughts that are that of what pure love thinks, that are that which the mystical is thinking. It's the same thing, basically. We need to see from the eyes of oneness and believe and remember that we are all connected and we are all one. And stop living in this separation reality where we limit ourselves to this form, because that's how the form decays. Because we're not tuned in, tapped in, and turned on to the unlimited potential and to the infinite energy that is who we are. The more we start to sit in meditation every day and connect to that space, the more we can also bring our intentions and our thoughts to that space, really infuse the space with that which we want to be feeling every day, like unstoppable joy, infinite energy, whatever it is we want to be feeling. We're here to think those thoughts, feel those thoughts, and give all our energy and attention to the thoughts of gratitude, love, appreciation, deep trust, and let our whole body be infused with those energies. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're giving our attention to now. Close the doors to all the energies and people and places and things and news reports and social media that might be draining your energy. That's no longer important. You know what happens when you go on social media and when you look at the news? Your brain becomes incoherent. You're no longer thinking thoughts that are creating harmony. You're thinking disharmonious thoughts, and that gets signaled into your whole physical body, and it will reflect in your health and in your whole being, in your heart health, in your organs, in your cells, and everything. So may we all remember that we are pure love, that we are tuned in, tapped in, and turned on at all times. If we just give our attention and energy to it, to the infinite, to the mystical, to God, to the greatest energy of all, which is Christ, presence, and love. This energy is with us, and it is what restores and heals and corrects all errors. May we give all of our attention and energy to this versus anything else. May we know that right now this is the most important, nothing else. And if we feel separate, may we stop and pause to align ourselves back to what's true and what's real. May we prioritize being in this above all else and seeing that this is the most important place to be versus any place in the 3D realm. It's being in this energy and in this frequency of love, of gratitude, of deep appreciation and bliss of our true eternal being, which is what we already are. We've always have been. We were before we were born. We will be after we die. It is the presence, the eternal presence that's here, that is the one energy that truly sustains us and moves us and makes this body be able to breathe and speak in this moment. So thank you so much for this life and for this beauty. Thank you.